What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Mike's Tool Shed, back in the garage. This episode is 5 tools, the thumbnail there, 5 tools that you wouldn't think an electrician would have. And that might not be the best title for this because I was thinking about it, and I don't work with anybody that carries any of these tools in their van. But hear me out, maybe you're an electrician and you don't have any of this stuff. But let me explain why I keep it on my van and what I use it for, and maybe consider picking some of the stuff up. Most of it I use a lot, actually, or it gets borrowed a lot. So the first thing here, obviously, is this fine quality Pittsburgh 4-pound dead blow hammer. And usually you see these living in, mechanics toolboxes, auto techs. You don't really see trades with these too much. But I use the hell out of this. Now you might say, oh, that doesn't look like you use the hell out of it. That's because it's my 4th one. I just got this a couple weeks ago. Every time I warranty one of these at Harbor Freight, they are all like surprised that I destroyed a dead blow. But they get destroyed when they're 15 degrees and you're beating the shit out of something. This will just shatter, and then the end cap comes off and all the stuff pours out, and then it's time to get a new one. But never had a problem warranting them, and I use it a lot. So what I use it for mainly is doing underground conduits. You have some 4-inch PVC, and it doesn't always want to slide right on. You put the glue on that, and that's kind of a lube, but it's usually a 2-man operation. And instead of getting the metal maul, and 2x4 and beating on it, just use this because this won't damage the end of the pipe. You can beat the hell out of it, and you're not gonna screw up the edges on the, where you got to glue the next 10 foot. So beating the hell out of pipe, maybe it's in the crooked, or it's crooked in the trench and it doesn't fit together good. Just beat the hell out of it with one of these. And the other thing I use it for is bending wire, honestly, or beating wire into submission. Some of the bigger stuff like 500 KC mill, it's not laying quite right, and you can't really get your hands in there. Plus, it's thick, it's hard to bend. They don't give you a lot of room. Just beat the hell out of it with this. I know that's kind of cringy. There's probably some electricians who are like, oh my God, face palm. But it's not that fragile. This isn't going to damage it. It's never damaged it. And it can put some more force into the wires than you can with your hands. So, yeah, beating wire and pipes. Dead blow. Think about it. 4-pounders, good size. This next thing is something that this particular kit is way overkill. This is a tap and die set. This is like your full basic set, covers all your most general popular sizes. And like I said, this is overkill. I got the full set because I was getting a little collection of individual ones. And I had a couple taps for this and a couple dies for that, and I didn't have this tool. I would just use vice grips, and I said, screw it, I'll just get the whole set. And this really does come in handy. Bolts do get stripped out. We do deal with bigger fasteners, and even down to smaller ones. You have your 832 tap in here, and your 632, and 1032, and 1024s. You have all your smaller sizes, but some of the bigger switch gear, or the bigger disconnects, or the automatic transfer switches, sometimes something gets boogered up in them, or you're working on something old and maybe all of the panel cover screws are stripped out. Retap them, drill them and retap them bigger, and put bigger fasteners in them, and then you got a nice tight panel cover. So like I said, overkill, but it comes with the this gear wrench. This is the 75-piece set from Home Depot. I think it was like 120 bucks. Comes with your thread gauges, all the popular sizes, metric and standard. And this is a good set. The tap handle is pretty sweet. It's got nice grips on it. Nothing wrong with that. Comes with all the accessories, a big collet and a smaller collet. It's a good set. It is overkill for doing day-to-day electrical work, but it does come in handy. And it does get borrowed a lot, too. And I only don't let everybody borrow that because, you kind of have to know what you're doing to not screw those up. What's next? Let's do this one next. Pry Bar. Again, you'd think this would be an automotive kind of tool, but I guess me being like an automotive DIY kind of guy, I'm familiar with tools like this, and I can think of applications I would use them at work. And so there's a couple people I work with that have pry bars, but they might not have one like this. But I have I have a set. I have this set, this Matco 4-piece set, and then I have the big Harbor Freight one. And this little guy will scoot 1,000-pound switchgear into, you know, quarter, eighth inch accuracy, scooting it around the floor, no problem. This is a fairly new set. I got this for Christmas a couple years ago. I just threw it on the work van, but yeah, pry bars are awesome. You can scoot equipment into place when you, like I said, where you need accuracy. You got to get it slid right up against this other thing. Perfect. Or maybe the pad that they're sitting on. This part is perfectly level, but the concrete guys kind of screwed this one up, and it's got a little kick to it. And you got to bolt these two pieces of, you know, of equipment together with, yeah, eighth of an inch accuracy, and you can just pry this one up and stick another one in between and pry it over, and you can get things lined up perfect. Otherwise, everybody else just uses screwdrivers. I mean, that is the perfect shape. The pry bar shape is perfect for doing that sort of thing. So, not to mention this, all this stuff also comes into play because I end up fixing equipment sometimes. It's either just throw your hands up in the air and say it's broken, or somebody else fix it. I don't get paid to fix this, or you fix it and you can continue working. You can continue the day. It's not a wasted day. It's a less of a headache for your boss. So that's the kind that I do mechanical kind of shit at work too. This next one, this is kind of a stupid one, but scraper and goof off, or as I love to call it, it's cut and wound finder. You get it because it burns. Uh, this comes in handy simply because manufacturers or shipping companies put hard to get off stickers in stupid places. And there's nothing worse than like it's a sticker to tell you how to lift this piece of equipment, but it's not any kind of easy to peel off. It's like the kind where you peel it and it leaves that paper shit on it, and you got to goof off it and scrape it off. You want the stuff that just ruins it. You got a $5,000 disconnect with this big stupid, sticker rip on it. No, scrape that shit off. That's about. I mean, I can't think of. This has oops. This has some other weird uses too, but it's it's handy. It's a little inch and a half. What is it? 2 inch and a half flat blade. Comes in handy. This is going to be more than 5, by the way. I just realized that. The next one. This is another one nobody has, but everyone borrows all the time. The Burn-Zomatic map gas with the automatic igniter. That wasn't aimed as much at the goof off as it looked. This one's getting kind of wonky. Yeah, I need to. It's not on auto. It's got a pretty consistent click on, click off auto, but that's the auto hold. But what I use this for is say it's wintertime, you had an icy rain or something over the night, and you got your job trailer with one of them puck locks or any kind of lock on it, and the lock's all frozen. Blast this for a few seconds, melts all the ice, and you can get a key in there. You're not like chiseling it out, or seeing people holding lighters up to them, or holding them in their hand. It's just, you just blast it with the torch, and 2 seconds later you can put a key in it. Also, you can get away with, heating up and bending smaller conduits with this. Usually like 1.25 inch, maybe 2 inch, but smaller stuff in a pinch, you just, give it some fire and it'll heat up, and, you can bend it into submission. So, like I said, this is another one that not a lot of people have, but people borrow this all the time, especially for heating up the locks. Any kind of ignition, key, something's frozen up, you can easily just heat it up and continue on your day. What else? Oh, last thing. Chalk line. You would not think any kind of electrician would have a chalk line. I wouldn't anyway. Or maybe if you're in the trade, you've seen electricians use them before. But, we have to get things to... sometimes we have to lay out walls before the walls exist. We lay the walls out. Like, they don't have to be perfect. We try to get them perfect, but we don't have to be perfect, but we need to know where the walls are so we can mount things and get things in order, because we can't wait around for the wall all day. So we lay them out ourselves, know where the wall is, get conduits to lay right nice, or maybe they're coming up out of the ground, but I use the chalk line a fair amount. Not all the time, but it was one of the tools I was looking around. I was like, you don't really see electricians with this. This is like a carpenter's, framer's kind of tool. And I think that's it. Had everything laid out, but then it all got... Oh, there's an honorable mention. And if you're in the trade, or you are in any kind of trade, the Ptouch label maker. If you have no experience with construction or electric at all, you might be surprised by this. Labeling is everything. Labeling things correctly, what voltage, where they're controlled by, what circuit, what the piece of equipment is called, and this is a Ptouch. I know everybody loves a good Ptouch, right? Am I right? And I screwed up though. I bought the wrong. What the hell? What was that word? Fire? I don't know what that was from. That was the last. That was the last one, but I screwed up, and I got the absolute tiniest. The absolute tiniest. I think that was supposed to be Fiber One. I don't know. The tiniest label that you could get for this thing. I don't know. It's metric, 6 millimeter. I was like, oh, that's probably plenty. And it's pretty tiny. But some jobs they want you to label every single outlet, every piece of equipment. They don't care what it looks like. They want a label on everything. And even if they don't request labels, I still use the shit out of this. It makes the job nice, finished. Gives it a really finished, professional look. I think having nice professional labels on things instead of some dipshits chicken scratch Sharpie handwriting. So I've seen some terrible, just I know you got bad handwriting, but you're capable of good handwriting. Just take a fucking second and write a decent handwriting. You're on something that's going to be there forever, or you can label it like this. Honorable mention, like I said, if you've been in any kind of construction, you've probably seen electricians with these, but I use it all the time. So that's it. That's 5 tools that you wouldn't think an electrician would have, and honestly, no other electricians I work with have any of this shit. But if you're an electrician, think about it. This is stuff that comes in handy, especially doing outdoor work. You got a job trailer, just for blasting the warming up the lock. That's awesome. And the dead blow. That's probably my favorite unconventional electrical item. So that's it. Thanks for watching.